Hello students, my today's video is on what is logic. It is for this video is for HS first year students, and here we will discuss what is logic and what are the different elements we use for logic. So first of all, logic, this term is taken from Greek word, that is, logic has come from the Greek word. What is the Greek word? The Greek word is that it is logike, and logike has come from one more Greek word that is called logos. Now what does it mean? What does the word mean? From logos to logike to logic, what does it mean? The word, what is the meaning of the word? As this is a very new term for you people, so what is the meaning of this word logic? Now the meaning of the word logic has come from these words. As it has come from these words, first of all we have to find out what is the meaning of this word. This word means thought. This word means thought. So as this word means thought, so etymologically the term logic means science of thought. Now it may seems to you that what is the science of thought? We know what is thought, we know what is thinking. Now what is the science of thought? But if you think yourself, again I have to use the term think, that we can think, or we usually think many things. It may be logical, it may be illogical. So when we say science of thought, that means it is the science which teaches us how to think logically. Logically means with the help of reasoning. With the help of reasoning, how we should think. This is logic, and that's why it is called science of thought. So etymologically, logic means science of thought, and whenever we think and then we express it, because only thinking is not sufficient, we have to express what we have thought logically. So logic, the definition of logic is that etymologically logic means science of thought which is expressed in language. Okay. Now science of thought, as I have used these terms, now what is science? Now science is something that which is systematic, that which is accurate, that which is methodical, that which is consistent. So our thinking should be consistent, our thinking should be systematic, our thinking should be methodical. So that is why we have used the term science when we want to understand that what is logic. It should be a systematic thinking, it should be a concrete thinking, it should be a methodical thinking, and that's why we have used the term science. So what is science? Which is systematic, which is concrete, which is methodical, and what is logic? That our systematic, methodical, concrete thinking is logic. Now, just now I have used a term that we should think with the help of reasoning. Now what is reasoning? The term may be new to you or may not be, but reasoning is something that whenever we think with the help of the concepts we have, and we come to some other concept which we do not have. Let me be specific with that. That reasoning is a mental process. That is, reasoning is a thinking. Mental process means reasoning is a thinking. Now, mental process which passes from something known to something unknown. Again, I am telling, reasoning is a mental process. Mental process means which is thinking. Mental process, that means our mental work. And what we do with our mind, that is thinking. So, reasoning is a mental process. Now, what we do there? We pass from something known to something unknown. That some knowledge we have, and with the help of those, we can get a new one. Let me take one example. Okay. Let me take one example. Suppose I have the knowledge. I have the knowledge that all men are mortal. That knowledge I have. Something known. That is something known. All men are mortal. I know this. Now from this known thing, I can come to an unknown thing. All men are mortal, but I have not seen myself to die. Have I seen? No. That means I do not know whether I will die or not. But I can know with the help of something known. How? You see how? All men are mortal. If all men are mortal, and I, whether I am a man or not, yes, I am a man. I am a man, so I can come to a conclusion that I am mortal. That means I will also die. So from something known to something unknown, I have passed from something known to something unknown. With the help of reasoning. With the help of reasoning means this is my mental process that if all men are mortal and I am a man, if I am not a man, then the matter will be something else. But if I am a man and as all men are mortal, so I am also mortal. I have come to the conclusion. Okay. So this is reasoning, nothing else. This is reasoning. Now, reasoning may be of two kinds. What are the two kinds? The two kinds of reasoning are, one is called deductive and another is called inductive. Okay. So two kinds of reasoning are there. One is called deductive, another is called inductive. Now what is deductive reasoning? Now deductive reasoning is that where the conclusion we get, we can get the conclusion from two or more cases. I'm telling about two cases because in case of logic, what we get, that is called conclusion. And what the things we have from which we are getting the conclusion, these are called the premises. For example, the example I have given just now, that is all men are mortal, and if I am a man then I am mortal. Here the conclusion is I am mortal. And from where I have got this? All men are mortal and I am a man. These two things are there, and that's why I have got the conclusion I am also mortal. Now the conclusion is I am also mortal, and the other two lines, that is all men are mortal and I am a man, these are called premises. Okay, and the whole thing is called argument. The whole thing is called argument. Now, this argument or reasoning is of two kinds, that is deductive and inductive. Now, deductive reasoning is that where we can draw the conclusion from one or two premises. One or two premises. From one or two premises, we can get the conclusion, and one condition is there, that is, the conclusion should not be more general than the premises. Now, what is this general? More general means what? It means that the conclusion we are going to find out, that should not go beyond the premises. For example, if I say some men are wise, listen to me carefully. If I say some men are wise, okay, some men are wise, some men are honest. Some men are wise, some men are honest. So, if I come to the conclusion in this way, all men are honest, without studying the subject of logic, each and every man can say that my conclusion is illogical, isn't it? Some men are wise, some men are honest, and that means all men are honest? No, that means I have the knowledge of about only some men. So how can I come to the conclusion of all men? So in case of deductive reasoning, the conclusion cannot be more general. More general means it cannot exceed the number of the premises. Because from some, this to some, how can I come to the conclusion of all? It becomes illogical, isn't it? Because I have only this two. And how can, from this two, I can come to the conclusion of all? So in case of deductive reasoning, the conclusion cannot be more general than the premises. But in case of inductive reasoning, let us take one example of inductive reasoning. Inductive reasoning seems to be like this. See the example. I am writing some names. Ram is mortal, Hari is mortal, John is mortal, Kareem is mortal, and many more cases. Then I jump. Remember, I jump. There is a gap because I cannot observe each and every man of this world. So there is a gap and I jump to the conclusion. In case of deductive, the example I gave you just before that, in case of deductive, we never jumped. There were two sentences and we came to the conclusion. But here, there are four or many premises and there is a gap and then we jump to the conclusion, all men are mortal. So that means the process is different. And that is why, in case of inductive reasoning, the conclusion must be more general than the premises. The conclusion must be more general. Why? Now you can ask me that just before this example, you have said that how can we come to the all with the help of this sum? But the process was different. There, the process was only two premises were given and we came to the conclusion depending on that only. But here, not only two. That means the premises can be more, two or more here. In case of inductive reasoning, the premises are more and there is a gap between the premises and the conclusion. We have to jump from the premises to the conclusion, and that is why the conclusion must be more general than the premises. So today we have discussed first of all what is logic, and there we said that it is a science of reasoning, science of thought. So I have discussed what is science also and what is reasoning also, and then we discussed that what is reasoning and what are the different kinds of reasoning. So we have got two kinds of reasoning, deductive and inductive, and what is deductive and what is inductive I have explained, and in my next video I will explain about what is the characteristics of deductive and inductive reasoning and where lies the difference and similarities between the deductive and inductive reasoning. And one more thing is that one more thing what we have discussed, that in case of reasoning, the thing we get from our process of thought, it is called the conclusion, and the things with which we are thinking, that are called the premises, and the whole thing is called the argument, which we express in terms of our language. Okay, thank you.